Hello everyone, welcome back yet again to the channel. This is our weekly Matchday Corner Show and I'm here with my usual co-host Oklu. Oklu, how are you?
I'm good, Papa. What's happening?
Good. How have you been? It's been a while. It's been quite a while.
I've been alright.
Okay, anything happening for you?
Not really, bro.
Okay. Well, let's get straight into it then. This week there have been a couple games in both in the Europa League and also the Champions League. PSG got booted out of the Champions League by three goals to nil on aggregate, and also Arsenal drew today the first leg, but drew 2-2 with Sporting, and then Man United beat Betis comfortably by 4-1. What did you make of all of that action throughout the week? Also, not to forget, Chelsea beat Dortmund 2-0 as well to go through.
I mean, the Bayern Munich and PSG game was a little boring, to be fair. I saw the game, bits and pieces of it, but it wasn't an entertaining one. Bayern were always going to win the game. And surprisingly, Chelsea Dortmund I found very interesting because of the trajectory of the way the game went. I found the game interesting. Graham Potter's Chelsea fighting for their manager's job, and they managed to get it. They managed to get it over the line by a penalty that I feel was soft, but hey, it's the rules, So so it is what it is. Chelsea go through. PSG, I mean, that's a whole different conversation. We have to look at them pretty well. I think their strategy has failed totally, and they are out again in the round of 16. Yeah.
And then what do you make of Arsenal and United today, like in the Europa League?
I mean, Arsenal played a weekend side, and they drew 2-2. The game was very interesting.
Was it weekend?
And
I mean, it wasn't their strongest side, but was it like weak side? Okay, weekend, fair. That's fair.
Yeah. So I feel like for Arsenal, when they go to the Emirates, they should have the game under control and progress to the next round. And Manchester United obviously need a reaction. We come back 4-1, but to be honest, I feel like it could have been 6 or 7. To be honest, Valvego's missing a whole lot of chances, but
not just Vegas.
We'll take that.
Just Vegas. Anthony to missed a couple good chances. Let's not try. Let's not make it seem like we're singling out Vegas. But I mean, all in all, it's a couple good games. I wasn't able to catch the PSG Bayern game this week, but I always knew Bayern were going to go through. I personally don't rate PSG in the Champions League at all. I was shocked by what we did to Betis. I mean, not on the balance of play, but coming in, they had just played a very difficult game with Real Madrid. Real Madrid could not break them down. The Spanish opposition as well. United's record against Spanish opposition is not good. But I mean, I felt we played very well. And as you said, we should have had more. And it was a good response from the team. I'll still say it's clear we need an upgrade on the goalkeeping department. Because, we can't keep with this, hands in heart situations with De Gea. Even though he does make some good saves sometimes. But that's just by the way. Let's go straight to the Premier League this weekend. As usual, fixtures upcoming, very crucial, consequential fixtures this weekend. And the early kickoff is Bournemouth against Liverpool. Now, Liverpool have been on the steady rise, gave it to United 7-0. And like an annihilation, if I'd even say. I told my friend that they ripped us. And Liverpool have won their last 4 Premier League games without conceding a goal, if I'm not wrong. I know they beat Newcastle 2, Everton 2. Okay, no, they drew Palace, but that was it. And Bournemouth last week went to Arsenal, gave a good account of themselves, and then, unfortunately could not see it out the last minute. What do you make of this game? What are your predictions for this game? Early kickoff. But Bournemouth is at home.
I mean, obviously, as I said last week, I mentioned that the Manchester United against Liverpool, that game was going to be the catalyst for Liverpool entering the top 4. And they proved me right. They battered Manchester United, the informed team, by 7-0, which is a landslide victory. So I feel like Liverpool, that 4th position is well within their grasp, and they can make it happen. So I feel like they will show similar intent to what they did at Anfield last week. So I'm going for 4-0 Bournemouth. I don't think Bournemouth will concede as much as Manchester United did.
Wow.
4-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't know. Maybe 4-1. Maybe 4-1. They can score from some corner or something. I'll go 4-1. Actually, I'll go 3-1 Liverpool. 3-1 Liverpool. You went 4-0.
Right.
And then Chelsea, a team. Well, actually, like a lot of these teams who are struggling, they're beginning to pick up a bit. They are away at Leicester. Never an easy game. This would be good to see where Potter is in the league, because I think they beat Leeds that day. Wasn't convincing, but they got through it. And they beat Dortmund, I think, which I felt they gave a good display of themselves, and they deserved to go through. But Leicester, I don't know. What would you think? Leicester against Chelsea. What's your view on that?
Leicester against Chelsea. I mean, I watched Chelsea against Dortmund. They were not great. That's the truth of the matter. They still lack that firepower up front. They create a lot of chances, but I think the conversion is a problem. So if Leicester have a good day, I think they'll cause a problem for Chelsea in this game. I still feel like Graham Potter is not the guy to take Chelsea to the next level. I feel like with all the talents that have come in, even though, yes, he's a guy who works with young players, but these are high-profile young players. These are just not any young players. So, the demands are a whole different ball game. Yeah, so I feel like they're still going to struggle. So I'm going for a draw, 1-1 draw in this game.
I'm going to go Leicester 2-1. Although Chelsea have been good, I do think they can lose this game easily. Leicester, I think the last game which they were poor, I think Maddison did not play, but I think they've been playing well. It was the 3-0 United gave them a couple weeks ago was not a fair reflection of the game, for being honest. And Chelsea still, you're right, although they've won these last 2 games. And I think Dortmund, they were good, but they've still not convinced me that they've turned the corner. Not like, even Liverpool have not fully convinced me, even though they've been very impressive. But Liverpool are definitely have 90 or 80% convincing. But Chelsea, I still think they have some work to do. So I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester. To be an interesting game. Moving on, we saw Spurs at home to Forest. I think I'm tired of talking about Spurs on this show. Like, one week they are good, the other week they are bad. They have Harry Kane, they have Conte. But I was speaking to a friend of mine and I told them, like, if you remove Harry Kane and Son, Spurs team is no better than Everton's team. Am I wrong to say that?
I feel like you are wrong in some sense. With that, I don't feel like it's right to even compare the two sides. But I feel like Spurs, their problem now is.
So did you hear me? I said, like, if you remove Son and Kane, no.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay,
I know. Even that. Yeah, even that. I feel like their team is a much better team, but it's just not good enough to perform on the high level,
which is expected.
If you look at the setup of Conte, I mean, there are decent players in there. There's Langley from Barca. There's World Cup winner.
I feel like sometimes we give too much.
Christian Romero in there.
Yeah, but you see, like, I feel like, sorry to interrupt you, but I feel like sometimes we give too much, or like we have this thing in our mind where we think these players are that good, but they aren't. In reality, it's like when Chris Smalling or Rojo and those guys were playing for United, we felt like they were good enough to play, but they weren't. You know what I'm saying? Like, those guys, they have decent moments, but like over the course of the season, they are not good enough. Romero, always reckless, always look. I think the other day he got booked. He got a red card. Like, those are no qualities of a good defender. Like, he's always getting booked. Always, if I'm not wrong, like at least more times than he gets booked, and those are not qualities of a good defender. Like, but you can go on and say what you're saying.
Yeah. So what I try to put across is that with Spurs, I feel like they don't have as much quality as the other teams, like the other top teams in the league, but they are not bad. I feel like it's the approach of the manager. Not to say Conte is not a good manager or anything, but the approach of the manager in terms of how he sets up the team and how they're ambitious and what they do on and off the ball.
Right.
You know, the Spurs performances have been very flat. You see, with Chelsea at least they create chances, but with Spurs there's no
chance creation.
There's nothing. Yeah, there's no chance creation, and I feel like in the transfer market they got it wrong in the sense that instead of spending an extra 50 million on a striker to be putting him on the bench, I feel like maybe they should have gone out there to look for a creative midfielder to supply the likes of Son,
Kane, and that person will be starting.
Kulusevski. Yeah, that person will be starting and impacting games, because between the midfield, Højbjerg and Skip, there is nobody playing a forward pass. You see, that's where the problem comes. They don't play forward passes.
And their replacements to like Bissouma and Co are very. He's also not playing a forward pass. He's here to tackle.
He's also not playing a forward pass. Bentancur is the one who maybe has the talent and the vision to maybe attempt a forward pass, but he's also out injured.
For the rest of the season,
Spurs don't have any creative players apart from Son and Kane, who more or less make things happen on their own, but nobody is creating for them, and that's where I feel the problem is. Because if they had a functioning midfield, we wouldn't really see the defensive woes, because there will not be much pressure on the defense, because in actual sense there's not supposed to be much pressure on them, because they play 3 on the back which transitions into a 5 when they're defending. So it's not, but the problem is the defense. If you look at the problem is their midfield. Look at their midfield. There is nothing going forward. There is just backward and sideways, and that is what is costing them. They need somebody to give them that special, that pass, that third eye pass, that, you know, but they're not getting that, and it's proving to be a problem, because Harry Kane in the last game against Dortmund was starved.
Milan.
Hello.
Against Milan, can you hear me?
Yeah. Against Milan. Sorry about that. Against Milan was completely starved. Up top, Son was completely starved, and all these guys have to try as much as possible. The 2 chances or so Harry Kane got at the end, he had to create something out of nothing, and I think that's a problem.
I'm going to ask you this question: do you think it's time Spurs gets a new owner who invests heavily in the team, or you think it's best for Daniel Levy to sell Kane and Son and start a rebuild whereby he gets a lot of money, good money, for about 150 million for Kane and Son, and then he can rebuild the team in 3 years? They'll be, you can do a 3-year project like Arsenal have done, and then in 3 years they can be somewhere competing. Because the truth of the matter is, he has kept this score with Kane, tried to build around Kane. It's not working. They are not going anywhere. Finishing in the top 4, as Harry Kane said, that it's not good enough, because even the top 4, when they make it, they don't end up doing anything in the Champions League. They don't end up competing on the forefront for any trophies. So what do you think? Those are the 2 options. I just want an answer. I didn't want an explanation. I just want to, like, what will you choose? Like,
I feel like those 2 options,
sell Kane and Son for like money, and then
I feel like those 2 options is a lose-lose for Spurs anyway, because first of all, if they get rid of Harry Kane and they get rid of Son, which I feel like will eventually happen, then they are in trouble now, because
but that's why I said it's a project. Listen, things happen. Like, for example, I'll give you this example. The moment Liverpool sold Coutinho, that was one of his best moments of his career. Liverpool could not imagine life without Coutinho. Do you understand? But then that money they made from Coutinho paved the way for them to sign Van Dijk and Alisson. Do you understand? Sometimes, like,
which got them the Champions League.
Which got them to that elite team they became over the past couple of years. Year in, year out. Do you understand? You and I know that Liverpool will not have forked out their own pocket money to pay 75 for Van Dijk and 67 for Alisson in the space of 6 months. Do you understand? Yeah. They got some. So, like, sometimes it's like even United like this. It's not even, we didn't sell anybody, but I'm saying it's like how some fans got attached to Pogba and like, oh, you can't let him go because of how skillful and stuff is. But sometimes you let him go. We bring in a simpler player like Eriksen, who is not too flashy or whatever, but he's getting the job done. Do you know what I'm saying? And you even feel better and more. So sometimes, and it's not about the player's abilities. Pogba is a great player. Coutinho is a great player. Do you know what I'm saying? But sometimes, like, a rebuild is needed. It's just what it is. So that's why I feel like Spurs are at that point where they need to just let go of Kane and Son, try and build around a young, and then get a young manager who has like a project value, not a Teta type, but like maybe a young manager in 40s who has like maybe a little experience at some club.
You see,
and then
you could say that, you could say that, but the reason why I said it's a lose-lose for Spurs anyway, because I personally feel like Harry Kane will be going out of Spurs this summer, no matter what is happening. Son, I don't think there's anywhere else for him to go. With all due respect to Son,
Teams
I know
will buy
he's a top
Son.
player,
Teams
but
will buy Son. Teams will buy Son.
I don't know what team.
Don't worry.
What top team? Maybe he can go to a lower team. That's fine with him. But I don't know what top team.
I think it doesn't have to. I feel like sometimes it doesn't have to be in the league. He can go to other leagues, La Liga and all these leagues.
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know what top team. I mean, in La Liga, there are only 2 top teams in my books. In the German Bundesliga, it's just 1 top team. So if he's going to go to maybe a Dortmund, that's on him. I mean, you can say that Dortmund is a top team, but I mean, how many times do they really compete at the highest level? Do you understand?
But I mean, it's not like he's ever competed at the
League,
highest level in his career, because Spurs have never competed at the highest level either. So he's not going to do anything like he has.
No, but he has the potential to get to the highest level. So let's be real here.
I think any of those teams you have, like Dortmund and Co you're mentioning, I think those are step ups it's a step up for him than Spurs. Like, honestly, because Spurs don't do anything, they don't even perform. Like, even Dortmund, they went there, yes, they weren't too great, but like, they actually play good football on the regular. It, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a player of Son's talent, even if doesn't win, you want to see him excite the fans. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't want to see him defending with Emerson Royale in the box and then running coast to coast just one time in transition. Do you understand? So, well, let's end it there on Spurs. I don't want to dwell too much on them. Like, just quickly, your score prediction against Nottingham Forest at home.
I feel like Spurs were not so bad against AC Milan, so I feel like they'll win this one by 2-0.
2-0. That's what they beat them the first leg. I'll go 1-1. 1-1. I'm not confident Spurs can do it. Let's go to Man City. Man City go away to Selhurst Park to their bogey team Crystal Palace. And over the years, everybody knows Crystal Palace always gives Man City a tough time. You know, quickly give me like what you think. Like, I personally think Man City will win 2-0. It will be a tough game, but you know they'll see it out. What do you think?
I mean, the first thing that came into my mind was like a 5-0 victory for Manchester City. I think they are going to totally destroy them.
I don't think so. I don't think you realize, but you always have this bias against Man City. You think every day 4-0, 5-0. You can go and watch all our videos. You always say that. It's only like it's always once in a while that you just go like maybe 2-1 or something. If they're playing Liverpool or something, but like. But we always wake up and say 4-0, 5. Like, they're not scoring 5 against Palace.
They are going to warm up for their Champions League clash coming up in the midweek.
I don't know what belief.
So they are really going to warm up well. And unfortunately, Palace are going to be the victims. So I'm going 4-0 for Manchester City.
Cool. I went with 2-0. Sunday, Fulham play Arsenal. It's a very tricky game at Craven Cottage. Fulham, they're a good team. Like, they can give it. They're one of the teams. They're similar to Brentford. They can give you a game. If you're not serious, they'll score you. You know, I personally think Arsenal will lose this game 2-1. Yeah, 2-1. I think Arsenal will lose this game.
I, on the other hand, actually think that Arsenal is going to win this one, but it's going to be tight. I feel like Arsenal will draw points very soon, but it's not this game. This game, it will go down to the wire. I'll go 2-1 Arsenal victory.
Interesting. 2-1. I went 2-1 Fulham. I went 2-1 Arsenal. The last game we're going to look at Manchester United at home to Southampton. I think this should be a walk in the park, but you know, we should be able to beat them at home. I'm going to go 3-0.
I mean, I'm not going to be fooled by the 4-1 victory against Real Betis at Old Trafford, to be honest. I feel like there are still cracks in that team that needs to be addressed. We are in desperate need of Anthony Martial. Like, I never thought I would say this, but I'm craving for this young man to just get back on his feet and start performing for Manchester United, because I cannot stand 1 minute of Val Vegas. I feel like maybe he should consider changing to a midfielder or something, because he's no striker.
But I feel like you guys are just being too hard. And I say that
No.
I say that from the perspective of coming in. I did not have any expectations from a player who plays at Burnley. Do you know what I'm saying? His form and his performances are fine. Even at United, some fans are okay with his performance, like he presses, work rate and stuff. So if he's doing that at United, I feel like at Burnley, that's like more than accepted. So like I did not have big expectations for him to come and be scoring and be I mean he should have scored more. His finishing is poor.
Exactly.
But he's a Burnley striker for a reason. Like sometimes you have to understand, this is what we got. We didn't go and get no striker from Real Madrid or Barcelona. We went to Burnley, the Championship. He was even on Burnley, even in the Championship, loaned him out to Turkey, to a team in Turkey, and we went. So it tells you that even the Championship team did not feel he was good enough for them. Do you understand? Or he felt he was too good enough to play. He was too good to play in the Championship.
Yeah, I feel like he felt he was too good to be playing in the Championship.
Yeah, but like I mean, still, do you understand? Even if he was playing the Premier League, Burnley were no team. Why will United wake up and go and shop at Bournemouth? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, if you go and buy Sri Lanka, we expect Sri Lanka to be banging in goals for United. Do you understand? So sometimes it's not that the expectation.
Getting these kind of clear-cut chances, I mean, like I feel like you should put it away. But on a roll, let's go to the game. I feel like Manchester United will struggle in this game. You hate
your team. It's bad.
There are a lot of cracks there.
Bad.
No, it's not about hate.
No, is. Do you know these are two things I've mentioned. If you like, go and look at all our videos, right? You always go Man City 5-0 United. Man United will struggle. They will struggle. Like, yeah, I'm saying, like you struggle. Like, cause even against Palace, they will struggle to beat. They won't beat Palace. Palace will win. Against we, they will beat us. Against we, they will like. I barely remember times they say we'll win this game comfortably.
But if I feel like we win the game, I'll say it.
No, but I just feel like sometimes like it becomes too consistent of like. Know what you expect. I mean, I don't know what I expect to hear from you, but like I'd expect to hear similar hot takes every week.
No.
Do you know what I'm
Manchester
saying?
United will struggle in this game. Let's be honest. You see,
don't beat them comfortably 3-0. Like you're just wasting your time. Let's be honest. Like I don't know. Struggle from where?
You can see that. Against Southampton.
Oh come on, easy 3-0.
This is a game that we can even lose, but I was going to go for a narrow 2-1 victory for Manchester United.
2-1.
I'm telling you.
Nah.
Yeah, 2-1.
I feel like you're not confident. You're not confident in the team, and it's clear. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's okay. No, I understand because Maguire is not playing. I understand, but it's okay. You understand?
Well, let's not even go there before I even start talking.
It's okay. I think this is where we just end the video. It's been good again to just talk this weekend. We'll see what the results go like. Hopefully we'll be back on Monday with another video looking back at some of these predictions we gave. So yeah, this is where we'll drop it. Make sure you drop a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. All right, I'm out.